We're not just looking at the 180 degrees. You pay your money or you're a member and you walk on campus, and we look after you while you're on campus, your experience. We're now really focusing on a full 360. So it's a social vision. What's our social responsibility to all the communities, and not just locally here, but all the communities of the Bay, and their access to their heritage, to their history, but also to the water. We're now working with we have a new Friends Board, something else I put in. We first met April 20th this year, and we've had 3 meetings since then, meet 6 times a year, and instead of our Board of Governors, who have fiduciary governance responsibilities, big picture, we now have a Friends Board, about 20-25 people, all from the shore and over on the other side as well. And I call them our canaries in the community. And it's how can we enhance and improve our relationship with our community? And they're people who actually live here and work here all year round, ranging from Smith Island right over to Annapolis. So we want to expand that. So that's a huge part for us. And they are helping lead us in this concept of social responsibility as well. So for example, we're now working on an event next year which will kick off in May. That'll kick off the season of activities, and we're even talking about a potentially free community day, like a community block party. Everybody comes in free. Key part of this as well is our new 6th grade program, and we're partnering with the Y of the Chesapeake and the Academy Art Museum, and this is something we are very, very proud of. Every 6th grader, and there's about 400 of them in Talbot County, will receive a free membership card to each of the 3 institutions, and they and their families get free access to any of the 3 institutions. And our responsibility with this program is to, if they can't swim, we're going to be working with the Miles River Yacht Club Foundation and the Bay 100 Community Pool, teach them how to swim, but teach them how to paddle a kayak, row a dinghy, and sail a small sailing dinghy, but to build a boat. We're going to get them in the boatyard, and they are going to build their own boat each year, working with our shipwrights and our apprentices, building a full wooden boat. And that wooden boat will go into our small craft rental program, and those kids and their mates will be able to sail, paddle that boat free for the rest of their lives. And we'll continue the program through to the 12th grade. So the 7th, 8th graders can be the mentors for the 6th graders. And every non-profit in the world is looking for where the next generation of volunteers is going to come from. So potentially these 6th to 12th graders could become our next generation of volunteers and fulfilling their service commitments that they need for high school and university. And imagine if 1 or 2 of these kids could think, you know, this is a life for me. I want to be a boat builder. I want to work on engines, you know, marine engines or something like that. So if we can help in that respect, it would be fantastic. And I'll start with the low point. The low point was probably, you know, I realized, God, you know, I can't get everything done in 1 year. It's going to take maybe a few more years to get everything sorted out in a sense. So for example, we've now started on a full overview strategy of our boatyard, which really is one of our most important exhibitions. It's a living exhibition, and really working out a full strategy now of where we want that to go and what are the resources that we need there to make that one of the best, if not, no, to make it the best working boatyard in a maritime museum in the country. So that's part of a key ongoing element there in that respect. A lot of my time this first year has been spent with partnerships, creating partnerships, you know, Horn Point, St. Michael's Community Centre, the Miles River Yacht Club Foundation, the Midshore River Keepers. I mean, we've got a long list of new partnerships now, which is one of my really exciting parts. And now this really, I feel we have a very strong relationship now with the local community here, which again I spend a lot of my time on developing, and that's been a real high point too in that respect. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also, one of the high points is the support that we're getting from our donors, our supporters. You know, we've raised, we're over $6 million in the first year in raising funds to address the deferred maintenance challenges that we had on campus. People have recognised that we've got to tackle those issues first before we can go into building new buildings or whatever, you know, may be on the horizon there. But so we started with the lighthouse, and it's been completely renovated on the outside, absolutely stripped down to bare wood. And then we discovered that the railing around the top had rotted out, so there's a whole new railing. Then we discovered it's the domino theory of maintenance, as we all know. Then we discovered that the copper roof had started to decay, And so that's now being replaced. That's actually being replaced as we speak. They're working on that right now. And then the bell tower was completely restored as well. We had a donor who gave us the monies to put in new chimes. So it now rings on ship bells, 8 hours, 4 hours the shift times, which is fantastic to ring 8 in the morning to 8 at night, ring, the ship's bell. And then if you walk out on campus now, I mean, it's looking so smart. We're laying out new decking over on Fogg's Cove, on Waterman's Wharf and the other jetties out there. We're putting power and electricity to those wharfs and upgrading for our marina experience. We have bikes now. We've got coffee in the morning for folks, and the ability for our boaties to be able to get around town and have a fun experience. One of the key things we've now done is we've laid Wi-Fi. We now have fibre laid across campus. We are now a 21st century museum. And if you look around, those smart folks will be able to notice where the contacts are. But we now have Wi-Fi throughout campus and out into the bay, out to the St. Michael's Harbour. It goes right out to Parrot Point and out. And so, of course, when people go on it and they're on their boats moored out there, anchored out, our page comes up. So, and that's a key commitment for us as well, for the boaties out there, and hopefully we can attract them to come on campus. I would love people to see this as their museum. Anywhere around the shore, around the country, around the world, this is their museum. It's a hugely important part of the history of the Bay that we are creating here and retaining here, restoring here and preserving. But it's really an authentic experience. You can get out on these boats. You can get out on the 1920 original buy boat, Winnie Estelle. There's Rosie Parks that was restored and relaunched last year. The Edna Lockwood, that's a huge major project, nearly $1 million project that we are starting next year to renovate the 9-log bug-eye. It's the last sailing bug-eye from 1889. So that's a huge responsibility for this museum to retain and restore and preserve the last remaining bug-eye. And that's going to be a huge flagship for us next year. So we want everybody to come and see and be a part of it. Come and do some scraping and some sanding and some screwing. You can come and help rebuild, restore the Edna Lockwood. When I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is fairly regularly, for a little bit, write a few emails, which I do not expect answered. I feel so proud. I feel so proud of being given this responsibility and honoured to be given this responsibility, but with all my 10 fingers and heart to be able to take this role and to be able to work with our people and this organisation, this institution, and to help make it a world-class maritime museum. That's what I get excited about. Every morning I still get that little flurry in my stomach, little flurry in my heart as I walk on campus.